Hello, everyone. This is Catherine Trotter, and I am back for another edition of The Shift. Well, today is the official 30-day countdown till Unlocked 2026 Business Conference is taking place on Saturday, April the 18th. Doors open up at 10:30 a.m. and we start right at 11 a.m. Well, today we're joined with one of our VIP participants that's going to be with us at the conference. Miss Anne Alston is a seasoned consultant. She's a facilitator and trainer specializing in business and career development. She is recognized for her collaborative leadership style and unwavering commitment to advancing adult and youth education, with a strong belief that economic empowerment begins with access to right information, and has dedicated her work to equipping aspiring entrepreneurs and professionals with practical strategies for long-term success. And welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Catherine, for having me on this fabulous program. And thank you so much for having this conference. I am excited. I am so serious. I cannot wait to be there. I know I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock. I know I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there at the door. It's going to be open, and I'm just going to walk in and greet so many wonderful people. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Can you believe it? We're 30 days out. Today's the 30 days.
Oh my goodness. Hey man, you got to be in the room. You got to be in the room in 30 days. It's going down in 30 days.
Listen,
okay.
Absolutely. Tell everybody, I mean, you have a phenomenal, what is the name of your business?
So the name of my business is ALSTNTEC, serving the needs of small businesses. We do things better, smarter, faster. We are a business consulting company. We have been doing this since 2015, helping entrepreneurs, first-time home buyers, first-time entrepreneurs, because I'm a home buyer too, so I'm going to have to own that. But we help anybody who is looking to start a business the right way, not just any way online, not just filling out a form, really understanding from beginning to end what you need to do to run your business properly. So that's what we've been doing since 2015.
Now, listen, I'm looking at your bio. It says that you are the creator of a 10-week small business strategy course. And you also have a career transition program. Talk about your transition program.
So yeah, Catherine, sure, absolutely. So the 10-week strategy course is an original course that I designed more than 10 years ago, actually before 2015, when I was doing career transition, which was really talking about how do you take your career and go from one industry to another industry. It was really unheard of back in 2019, 2017, 2016, even going all the way back even before then. It was very hard for people in the minority community to have a skill and be able to transfer those skills to another industry. And so because I was in IT at the time, and I'm still in IT today, but back then when I was doing help desk and going to people's houses, fixing viruses and things of that nature, I wanted to find out, how can I grow as an individual in IT? Well, of course, when you are Black and you're a woman and in the man's world of IT, it is very, very difficult. So I had to figure out how to transition my skills from one industry to another industry that would accept me to grow in that industry. And it was very difficult. Mm-hmm. So I kind of came up with this program of career transition that would address the ability to promote yourself as opposed to waiting for someone to give you a promotion based on your own merit. So it was really based on that program. And so in that whole mixture of me going around and speaking and helping all of these people and working with the community to help them understand career transition came the business consultation portion of it. And so the business part came from those who were just tired of jumping from job to job or being laid off, and then they couldn't get back in the industry that they wanted to get into, and they wanted to own their own business, and they didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I just know that I was able to help people. I didn't even realize that I was even in a position to be a small business. And so I started to do my own investigation and realized that yes, there's information out there, but it's not holistic information. It's not all in a place where it gives you the order, the right way to do it. you often, miss a lot of things. And so when I started to do the course, it actually just started off with just workshops.
Mhm.
And the more that I was doing the workshops, the more I realized I needed to do a course. So in 2015, I created the 10-week small business strategy course, and it started off with 6 ladies in a shared workspace to help them do entrepreneur. I did it for free. It was a proof of concept at the time, and it was very successful. I actually just showed them where they needed to go, what they needed to do, and it just turned into this huge need time after time. I will tell you that over the last 10 years, I've helped more than 500 businesses through
Mm.
this program. Through the workshop for the career transition, I've literally reached out to more than 2,000 individuals, more than 1,500 students working with the school system, and I just absolutely love what I do. I mean, I really
Mhm.
love helping people really just know that there are options
Yeah.
to their skills, that is valuable what you do, and you can have the choice to use those skills either in a career or your own business. And that's really all I love to do.
And I hear the passion in your voice. So for those of you that are just tuning in, you are tuned into the Shift Podcast Show. We're talking about
Yeah.
everything about Unlock 2026 Business Conference, as today is the official 30-day countdown. We are joined with Miss Anne Alston, a phenomenal business educator. Talk a little bit more about the career transition program. What does that actually look like?
So the career transition program really focuses on really understanding the mindset of how people are actually hiring and judging your character of worth when it comes to interviewing, your expectations of how much money that you're going to make, and the realization of where you really sit in terms of your skill set, your actual capability, right? So we're all taught to, like, okay, I want you to go to school, get a high school diploma, maybe go to college, figure out what you want to do, get a degree, but they're not teaching you about your own self-worth. They're not teaching you about what skills are you really good at. They're not teaching you the realization of what happens if you become unemployed for long periods of time. What impact does that have on you as an individual, psychologically, mentally, spiritually, physically? What does that actually look like? And then if you decide that you realize that you're in the wrong career, how do you make that easy jump from, let's say, transportation over to maybe physical therapy? Or maybe you're in IT, but you really need to be in law. How do you transfer the needed skills to jump from one industry to another industry? Or maybe if you've been unemployed, let's say you've been retired and you just want to get back in the workforce, how do
Mhm.
you take your experience from like 20 years ago and
Mhm.
apply it to today's demand?
Yeah.
And most often, Catherine, it does not translate in the resume. It does not translate in their interview. And
Mhm.
they quite frankly don't understand why they're not selected, why they're not getting a phone call. And so I sort of, help them understand those trends. And then I teach them how to do their resume the right way. How
Mhm.
do they communicate their skills so that the person can visualize them in the position and also call them for an interview? And most importantly, how do you land the interview? That is also
Mhm.
key, because if your resume and your voice don't match, you're not going to get the job, right? And it's the same thing with business. If you don't have the right foundation and you don't have the writing, you don't have the speaking, you don't have the fortitude, you don't have the terms, you don't have your designations, you don't get the solicited job, and it's the same thing. So there's skills and stuff that you have to recognize where you are.
Mhm.
And you have to figure out, do I need training? Do I need a mentor? And just really understanding where your weak points are so you can work on those weak areas and actually strengthen them to your advantage. If you want to get anywhere, you can't rely on just being promoted. Okay, you have to actually promote yourself.
Mhm.
And that's how that kind of came about. And to support that, I've written 2 books, really short reads. One is called Empower Thyself, a guide to women's personal and professional health. And
Mhm.
then I wrote another short read, which is called Career Transition, but How to Bounce Back. when you've lost, your way in jobs, because it is difficult out here these days, especially for the minority community.
And where can they find your books?
So they can find my books if they want to reach out to me on my website. I'll be happy to give them a free e-copy of the book. So if you go to my website, www.ALSTNTEC-smallbusiness.com, you can send me a contact information and I will send you a free e-copy of the book.
Wow. And as I continue to look at your bio, you are big on partnerships. It says throughout your career, Anne has built strategic partnerships with organizations throughout the Prince George's County Economic Development Housing Opportunity Commission of Montgomery County, City of Seat Pleasant, Prince George's County Public Schools, University of Maryland College. I mean, you're big on partnerships. Talk about the significance of partnerships.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you guys, if you don't understand partnership when you walk up in the Unlocked Business Conference, you better know something. Look, partnerships is critical, absolutely critical to your business. My philosophy is if you're not doing business with another business, you're going to be out of business. There is nothing wrong with partnering with another business, whether you are like right now, we're on this podcast helping each other talk to you about what's out there. Or maybe you want to join a webinar to share your talent, or even collaborate to do a workshop or even a conference, or even just support another business by forwarding someone's post. That level of partnership goes a long way, and it builds critical business relationships. I can tell you that I would have never experienced things that I've done in the last 10 years if it wasn't for partnerships. It's not a brag thing. It really boils down to who you really know. For me to do the conferences and to work with organizations like the Prince George's County Economic Development Center, the Maryland Future Business Leaders Association, where I did judging for, high school students. And I did that because I really want to see high school students really understand business, import, export, all kinds of different lines of business. You do that because you really care for the individual's well-being and you care for their success, whether it be career or whether it be business. And so having that partnership not only helps you with your brand, but it gives you free exposure to be part of someone else's network that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get, right? So having those partnerships is wonderful. Having a partnership with Housing Opportunity Commission of Montgomery County was one of the biggest defining, I would say, milestones in my career that allowed me to work with all different levels of Montgomery County residents to help them with their career and their business. And I worked with them for 8 whole years. And working with the municipalities on a lower level also gave me the sense that I'm actually helping my own community in Seat Pleasant just by doing a cohort. And just recently, I was awarded an FSC First grant to do a marketing, brand, and sales workshop where we're going to be working with people directly on how to build their sales funnels. So having these partnerships helps me as an organization, help you, and help many other people. So without those, I wouldn't even be here, Catherine, if I didn't have partnerships. I'm telling you, it's critical.
Absolutely. Now, I see your philosophy is sharing information can change lives. It's not just a statement, it's the foundation of every program, partnership, and initiative she leads. And that is the philosophy that you stand by. Kind of elaborate more on that.
So the thing is, we always say, as regular folk, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know. And it's too late to know after the fact, right? It's too late. I feel like when I came up with that statement, I always go back to Lou Rawls' song, I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's what folks always say. That song will live in infamy with me because the bottom line of it is that it's too late when you don't know. But that doesn't mean it's impossible to move past your obstacles when you do find out. I think what's important for our minority community, which I feel very strongly about, is that we got to get out of the mindset of not understanding and not knowing, not coming to events or webinars that is going to help you move further in life and actually spend that quality time with the right information. There is so much information, but are you spending it with the right information? So sharing the right information will change your life, because now you have more information than you did 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago or even 15 minutes ago. In this specific podcast, you learn something different about me. You learn something different about Catherine. And when you come to different events, you learn something that is going to bring value and benefit to your life. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely going to do that. And I applaud anyone that loves to share information. Matter of fact, Catherine gave a fabulous one about grants and the best practices about how you look for grant opportunities or even trying to respond to something. And I learned a great deal about, how I go about looking for funding. And so because of that information, I'm a better person. I'm stronger in learning what I need to learn so that I can go out and get those opportunities. And so if you are a business person looking for opportunities, this is where you need to kind of open up yourself and say, hey, I am okay learning new stuff. So share information, pay it forward. That's the second part, is pay it forward. If you learn something that you benefited from, help someone else. Reach back and bring someone else forward with you, because that's how we grow together. That's how we get in buildings. That's how we get funding. That's how we get partnerships. That's how we get all of the things that we deserve to have as an individual and an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Now, listen, we started off the top of this conversation about saying it's 30-day countdown. Now, first of all, tell everybody what attracted you to even want to register and attend Unlock 2026.
So the first thing that drew my attention was I really like the name Unlocked, because I feel like over the last 5.5 years, we have been locked down. We have. I think that even before there was a COVID, there was a mindset in which people felt like they had to hold on to whatever it is that they're holding on to, right? So I just got to hold on to my business idea, because if I share anything or if I do something with someone, they're going to take my idea. Well, hello, everybody. It's enough for everyone. There are billions of people in the world and people are making money, but you have to kind of let yourself be free. And I think that COVID kind of came in and shook things up and let people know that just because you are in a big building making billions of dollars, that you are not, you're not safe. And it really separated the weak from the strong. I would say that most small businesses that are still surviving right now is because of their willpower, and they felt like they could unlock something that's missing. For me, I always felt like there was something that I need to unlock for ALSTNTEC for me to go to the next level. And when I survived the COVID situation, I said to myself that I need to find out what is unlocked. So I have to invest in myself. So when I saw the conference and I saw the lineup of people who were going to be there, I knew, number one, I needed to be in the room, because I'm a small business person. I need to learn. I need to understand, just like I'm teaching people what I know. I need them to teach me. I need to figure out what needs to be unlocked to get that opportunity to come to me. And they always say that if you stand in your own way, the opportunity will never come to you. So you have to unlock that door and walk through that door and allow that information to come to you, because you can't expect change if you don't allow change to come to you. So that's the number one reason. The second thing is my boy Leroy McKenzie Jr. is going to be up here in the house. So if you know Leroy McKenzie Jr., he's going to be there, and I would like to support him and many other people that's going to be there. I just can't wait to just learn from what's going to be talked about in the room, and also be able to meet new people and see what's out there for me and see what's out there for ALSTNTEC, really, because that's how you make connections, is being in the room.
Being in the room. And I tell you, for anyone that's just learning about Unlock 2026, you have until midnight, and then ticket sales end at midnight tonight. And so I will tell you, the day is going to be full of knowledge, an exchange of knowledge, right? An exchange of education, an exchange of ideas. We're going to start off in the morning with our morning speaker session, break for lunch, then do our second half of our morning speaker session. Then we're going to flow into our breakout workshops. After that, we have the after conference network and exchange with the subtopic, the art of the pivot. So this is not going to be your standard networking event. It's going to be truly amazing with thought-provoking topics as we are engaging one another in the networking experience. For the breakout workshops, there's several topics, from grant writing to marketing strategies to how to leverage AI and technology tools. It's just going to be a day where you walk away and you're not going to feel that you just received a bunch of hype with no knowledge. You're going to have knowledge, and you're going to be able to then leave the doors and execute in real time. We have a phenomenal lineup, as Miss Anne mentioned, that's going to be speaking that day. And so I say, for those that have already registered, get ready. For those that have already registered, you are in the season where things are going to continue to unlock in your life. I was talking to a person the other day, and I said, the Unlock 2026 Business Conference has already begun. It has already begun, especially for everyone that is already registered. The moment you decided to register, your unlocking experience began. And on tomorrow, everyone that has registered, you're going to be receiving an email. In that email is going to be a puzzle piece. Leading up to that day, you're going to be receiving several different emails, several different clues, several different puzzle pieces in the email that's going to lead into April the 18th. Keep all of the emails, all of the clues, because it's going to be something special that's going to take place that day of. This will not be your standard business conference. Everyone is going to walk away again with tangible tools for execution for their business. Miss Anne, what words of encouragement would you say to someone that's saying, I heard about the conference, I'm not sure, should I go, should I not go? What would you say?
Well, what I say is that, again, you will miss out on, I would say, one of the very few opportunities where you get people in a room that's giving you information. What I tell my students when they come to my class is that in the real world, it is very difficult to get someone to sit down and tell you what you need to know. But if you buy a ticket, that means you are investing in yourself, not investing in the conference or investing in speakers. You are investing in yourself to be in the room, to get the information. I bought a ticket because I believe in investing in myself, and that's the way that I am going to do to empower myself. That's why I wrote the book, Empower Thyself. Only you can get that opportunity by being in the room. So all I say is hope to see you there in the room with me and Catherine. And how many people you got there? Lots of people. Okay. So, if you want to change your life, if you want to expand your knowledge and your exposure to people who are in different networks, because every one person you meet, they have a network. Mm-hmm. In order to be part of that network, you need to be in the room.
Absolutely. We have people coming from Boston, Massachusetts. We have people coming from Delaware. We have people coming from Philadelphia. Of course, right here in the town where we're hosting the conference, right here in Baltimore, we have individuals coming from Washington, D.C., Virginia. It is going to be, I'm going to call it a business reunion, because we're doing things leading up to that day. In fact, on March 26th, we're doing a virtual meet and greet for everyone that has registered. This is going to be before the conference, so you can get a sneak peek and meet some of the business owners that have already registered. So that way, when you get there on the 18th, it's going to feel like a reunion, because you would have had an opportunity to meet some of the business owners. So March 26th, for those of you that are registered or about to get registered today, you're going to be receiving a Zoom link on Thursday, tomorrow, with that information. So it's going to be amazing. But Miss Anne, I would just ask you, in terms of speaking to the business owners that's watching, Share your story. Like when you was first starting your business, what challenges did you face and how did you overcome those challenges?
Oh, wow. I could tell you I'm still facing them. So, when I first started this whole entire business thing, what's funny is that my husband, who's my co-founder also and my best friend for the last 30 years, 27 of those years, we just celebrated our wedding anniversary. He said to me, I want you to be able to fly as high as you want to do. Just let me know how you want me to support. And I said, okay, I want to go out there and get 2 inkjet printers. I want to do desktop publishing, the whole 9 yards, and then kind of go out there and do my thing. What I realized is if I had someone that could have, taught me the things that I'm teaching people, I would gladly sit down and talk to them. I believe in mentorship. I've had mentors for years. I mentored before I even had this business. I mentored when I was doing college. And it really helps when you have someone who understands business that can actually sit down and talk to you. The challenges I ran into was not having all of my registration the way that I needed my registration to be done, or maybe not getting legal help, because most of the time lawyers can give you legal advice when it comes to business, but only another small business can really tell you what it's like to really worry about money and funding and your foundation. And if you're trying to do government contracts, what do you need? How do you find funding? How do you even find customers? That's really the number one thing. My challenge is I would say my challenge and most of the students is, how do you go about finding your customers? What is the demographics that you need to understand about your services? And what I will leave people with is do more research on your specific customer. If you're not understanding the person, the persona, like their attitude, their thought process, the way they buy, your behavior, the way your product is cultured and talking to that person, it's going to be incredibly difficult to find the person that is really going to be looking for what you need. You can advertise to everybody, but you're only advertising to that one person or those persons with that specific persona. And we see it all the time in commercials. You have certain things that is like a fad where people just go crazy because of trends. But then if you look at the majority of products and services that are sold, only a specific person that has a specific persona and a specific mindset is going to buy that product. So do more research on your business and do more research on where or how you are translating that information to your clients.
Absolutely. As we get ready to wind down this segment, please share with everyone how can they get in contact with you?
Absolutely. So I can be found on LinkedIn. So if you would like to find me on LinkedIn, it is www.com, linkedin.com/n/Anne Alston. You can also find me on Facebook. That's my personal Facebook if you want to follow me there. And that's facebook.com/Anne.Alston or something like that. You can also find my business page on LinkedIn and Facebook under ALSTNTEC at ALSTNTEC. You can also find me on my website, which is www.alstntech-smallbusiness.com. And you can reach out to me there at any time that you just want to have a conversation.
Well, Miss Anne, I just want to say thank you for registering and registering as one of our VIP guests for the 18th. You're going to be in for a treat along with everyone that's going to be coming that day. Once again, this is the 30-day countdown to Unlock 2026 Business Conference taking place at the Maryland Center for History and Culture, 610 Park Avenue, right in Baltimore City. The ticket sales end tonight at midnight. So if you want to go ahead and get that ticket, I highly recommend you do so. If you're bringing any of your business partners with you, let them know or remind them tonight ticket sales end. But what I want to say is that this is not going to just be another conference. It is going to be something that's going to be impactful to your life, to your family's life, to your community that you serve, and ultimately to the next generation. So with that being said, we're going to see everybody at the top, and we're going to see everyone on April the 18th.
That's right. See you there. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity to kind of share my story. And hopefully, I will reach some of you guys and
Right.
see you at the conference in Baltimore because I'm going to be there. So hopefully, you'll be there.
See you there, April 18th.
Yeah.
Goodbye.